Now, I recently published an interview, or at least a small segment of the interview I did with Stephen Breadman Edwards, the head trainer of Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, right? And him and I discussed another form of politics in the sport of boxing. And when I say politics, I'm talking about how the testing protocol is enforced or the lack thereof. And I'm talking about the testing for specific performance enhancing drugs. And so we got to deal with what's real. I know that most people don't want to talk about steroid use in the sport of boxing. I know some people want to shy away from that, but we got to keep it all the way 100. There is a lot of performance enhancing or enhancement drugs being utilized by some athletes in this sport. You don't have to take my word for it. Y'all better not make me roll the tape now. But I'm not going to roll the tape on the people that got caught in the past and in the present. But I'm just saying it's literally happening. And it's more widespread than it's being advertised and published. Okay? And speaking of that, that segued me into the interview that I did with Breadman, right? And him and I talked about the fact that Caleb Plant and David Benavidez will be being tested through VADA. And VADA will administer Olympic-style random urine and blood tests. Okay? Now, it's interesting to me that David Benavidez, this is public record, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, that David Benavidez hired Memo Heredia, Angel Memo Heredia. His name might be Memo or Memo. Y'all can Google him. Okay? He was a part of the Balco scandal as well as a steroid dealer, okay, to a lot of the athletes that perform in the Olympics, okay, including Marion Jones, who had to relinquish her medals that she won while she was on PEDs, right? And I think she did some jail time too. Don't quote me on that. But the founder of Baco, who is the new founder of Snack, Victor Conte, who did jail time as well for his involvement and him being the mastermind in manufacturing, selling, and dealing PEDs and steroids to baseball athletes, cyclists, and boxers. Okay? Now, with that being said, though, a lot of people in the boxing community, mainly fans and subscribers on YouTube all across the platforms in the boxing community, have made some accusations against Caleb Plant too, because they saw how Caleb Plant literally knocked Anthony Durrell out in his last fight. In fact, I was at that fight live in Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. I was there. I saw it live with my own eyes. It was a good combination. Left to the body, bang, bang. And then the left right to the chin. And it was night-night or good night Irene for Durrell. And so a lot of people start asking the question of, where did Caleb Plant get this power from? And one person in particular start asking that question directly in an interview he did. That's right. I'm talking about David Benavidez's father, Jose Benavidez Sr. Some of y'all may not have heard that interview that he did. I think that was a month ago or so, or something like that. He did an interview basically, he was basically indirectly accusing Caleb Plant of being on quote unquote something. Okay. He didn't actually say the actual term of banned substance, but he was insinuating that Caleb Plant all of a sudden had this big punching power that he didn't have in the past. And so there's a lot of controversy swirling around both of these fighters. And the reason why, I asked the trainer, Breadman, about VADA testing is because of the controversy brewing around both fighters, but mainly because David Benavidez, who's been telling everybody he's going to knock out Plant and he's going to knock out everybody else that come his way, he's basically very confident that he's going to end all his fights in knockouts, right? And he hired a guy who is known to be not just a dealer of PEDs and steroids, but he's also known to beat the system by circumventing the tests, right? Right? And Victor Conte, right? He made a statement on his Twitter account where he basically was throwing shots at Heredia and basically alerting the public, if you will, that David Benavidez hired Memo and that he's highly suspicious because there are banned substances that if a smart cheater, Victor's words, not mine, a smart cheater who understands not just the process of the test that's being administered, but also understand how to circumvent the test, knows how to cheat more undetectably. And so now there's controversy surrounding this. All right. And remember, right? Floyd Mayweather blew the lid off of, so many fighters secretly taking performance enhancing drugs because look, what did Floyd do? What did he do, y'all? Y'all remember? He put it all in writing. Every fighter that was to compete with Floyd Mayweather while he was still in the rankings would have to agree to undergo USADA testing. Y'all remember that? Remember when he signed that 6-fight deal with Showtime? That's when he started activating it because of his beef with Manny Pacquiao not wanting to take the test. Now, why did I bring up Manny Pacquiao? Why did I bring up PEDs with regards to Manny Pacquiao? Why did I bring up anything regarding the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao situation about that? Because that was a real life scenario. Look, Pacquiao, with the help of an American former prosecutor, top-ranked president and CEO Bob Arum, helped him file a lawsuit for defamation of character against Mayweather. Y'all remember that? Because Mayweather basically was questioning why Pacquiao would not agree to take Olympic-style random blood and urine testing. That's what made the fight happen nearly 5 years later after everybody was waiting for it. Okay? So my thing is, with regards to that Pacquiao situation, is because there's another man whose name was surrounded in controversy with steroids and PEDs. Y'all remember him? Y'all remember him, right? Alex Ariza. Remember him? He was in Pacquiao's corner. All the times Pacquiao was running through fighters. Right? Y'all remember that? Okay. Remember when, Google this now. I got receipts. But if y'all don't believe me, y'all can Google it. Remember when Manny Pacquiao, I think this was in 2013 or 14, Manny Pacquiao who always had Alex Ariza in his corner, right? While he was at the height of his career, knocking everybody out, breaking eye sockets, running through bigger fighters, having all this strength and just dominating everybody, knocking down Sugar Shane Mosley in the second round of their fight or the first round. Remember that? Yeah. Well, Alex Ariza was in Pacquiao's camp all this time. And then I think 2013 or 14, right? Pacquiao was scheduled to fight Brandon Bam Bam Rios. And at this time, Alex Ariza and Freddie Roach had a public beef. Y'all remember that, right? Y'all go in and do your homework like I do, right? Now, in this public beef, that is what basically made them part ways, right? Because remember, Freddie Roach was Pacquiao's trainer. And Freddie Roach is the one who hired Alex Ariza and gave him his shot as the strength and conditioning coach with Pacquiao, right? It's time to go to school, y'all. Class is in session. Now, Alex Ariza doesn't have a job at this point with Pacquiao anymore. And so guess what Brandon Bam Bam Rios does? He hires Alex Ariza. And when Brandon Rios hires Alex Ariza, who was going to now be in his camp as the strength and conditioning coach against Pacquiao, guess what Pacquiao's camp does? Do your research now. You don't believe me? Do your homework. They request that Brandon Bam Bam Rios get Olympic-style testing administered. Remember that? And guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew? Guess what happened when Brandon Rios took the Olympic-style random blood and urine test with Alex Ariza in his camp? You guessed it, he failed. We're talking about the politics of boxing, right? He failed the test. Now, it's strange to me, and I said this over 10, 11 years ago. Why would Pacquiao's camp ask for Brandon Rios to get tested all because Alex Ariza was in his camp as the strength and conditioning coach, and then coincidentally, Rios failed the test. Now, why am I bringing up Alex Ariza? Well, y'all remember when David Benavidez, when he fought, what's this guy's name? He was a part of Mayweather's promotions. This guy, Gavru? I think his name is Richard Gavru, right? They fought twice. Y'all remember that? This was a couple years ago. What is this? 2000? I think it was like 15 or 16, right? But they fought. And guess what happened? David Benavidez had some trouble with that boy Gavru. Some of y'all remember that? Hold on. I had to pull it up. His name is not Richard Gavru, y'all. My apologies. His name is Ronald Gavru. I knew it started with an R, though, right? And it was in 2017. I said 16, so I was close. 2016 in that first fight. And Benavidez won that by a split decision, which I had Benavidez losing to Gavru. Now, when Gavru fought Benavidez the second time. Oh, I love teaching so much. Benavidez had Alex Ariza in his corner on the apron. Y'all remember that? As a strength and conditioning coach. And you've seen the difference of how Benavidez performed the first time when he fought Gavru without Alex Ariza in his corner, and then the second time he fought Gavru when he had Ariza in his corner. I'm not implying anything. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just telling y'all these are the observations that I've been making over the years since we're talking about the politics of boxing. There's a lot of PED and steroid use in the business of boxing. But because of the politics, people sweep it under the rug. And so now we're going to make light of it because we want to advocate for a clean sport.